First of all, life doesn't just stop because you're hurt. This girl had the audacity to go behind my back. This is Beyond the Script, and my name is Florence.
My name is Rachel. Hi guys! Welcome to yet another episode of the Beyond the Script. My name is Rita.
I'm so happy today though.
I had missed you.
I've missed it's been a while, right?
I know, like, this is what happens when we've not seen each other for a long time. And it's just been a week. But I'm so happy to see you.
Too.
Like, I'm not even kidding. Like, I think even my mom noticed, like, because I was so bored.
You look good.
You too.
Thank you.
You too. Sipumangi na hizi locks.
Jesus.
But you look good. Actually. Like, I
I'll
think
try
I've told
to do this more.
I've told you this like 1,000 times today. I love Bilomit actually.
Thanks.
And the makeup.
Thank you.
Please give credit to the makeup artist.
Amefanya kazi mzuri. Makeup artist mali yako anajijua amefanya kazi mzuri. But sasa juu amenilipisha expensive na alisema ni muadvertise kazi next time. How is your investment coming along?
Which investment?
You were talking about money in the last episode.
Please. I was screaming where let me be. Please, I beg. Sina pesa.
Yet again, we welcome you guys. Thank you for thank you for the support that you have shown us throughout the previous episodes that we have done. This is yet another day. It is good to see you here. And continue subscribing, continue calling out your friends. We have had your bit of your feedbacks here and there.
Oh, yeah.
And welcome. This is Beyond the Script, and my name is Florence.
My name is Rachel, and today we're gonna be focusing on something that I call healing. Swali ni hapo kwenye uko, are you healed? Ama unajaribu ku.
How is your inner organs operating?
Yeah, and we're gonna be talking about that. Let me just go back to my serious self. Yeah, we're gonna be talking about healing today. I think I'm really looking forward to this conversation, and I hope you are too.
It's a nice
conversation
to to dwell into.
Yeah, like, I'm really excited. I think we've never actually talked about this healing, even in our day-to-day interactions.
Really?
We just kind of go, uko aje, like the uko aje shenanigan, uko aje niko fiti, uko aje.
We have not gone deeper.
Yeah, and if we do that, it's maybe either once in a while, which we of course we have.
But I think this is one conversation you've not had in actual sense.
Yeah, like the deeper
part of it.
Yeah.
What is healing for you?
Healing for me is I'm wounded. Or I've cut myself. I start bleeding. So healing for me will look like that wound that's there. You either can see the mark that was left, or the mark is not there. That means nobody can tell whether I was actually cut. And if I was cut and it left, and if it left a mark, then it has actually healed, but there's a mark that has been left.
What about emotionally?
It's the same thing. That's why I'm saying, that's what I'm saying for me. Like it's the same thing. Like healing for me emotionally is being able to you're stable. Let me just say
Mm-hmm.
that. You're stable. The emotional um turmoil that you were
Mm-hmm.
when something hurt you and the process that you've gone through and to a place that you actually declare yourself that I'm now healed means now the emotional turmoil is not there. That means you've actually been able to stabilize,
Mm-hmm.
your emotions.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's what I'd say. I'm trying.
You're
I
trying. I know
know.
you're
What's healing to
trying.
you? Like even to you as well. And also to you who's watching.
Um, Healing. Healing is having to face whatever that hurt you. Um,
Okay.
right? It's having to face whatever that has hurt you, first of all. You get to sit with it, just like you're saying that you'll have to sit and see, anyway, whatever the pain that I
Yeah.
had, the one that I had has disappeared. So once you get to sit with it, you get to understand,
Yeah.
you get to understand it, you get to process it, and then eventually and slowly you just get to remove whatever its control over you, whether it's emotions wise, how you think, how you reflect on things. So yeah, because again, healing is not comfortable.
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah,
very
it's not.
uncomfortable. And so when it comes to healing, you also have to accept to, to sit down with the, or what word can I use? You sit with
To
the
the
uncomfortable
mess.
truth
Yeah.
rather than having to avoid it.
Okay. That's good. I love that. She's so brilliant, man.
You are too. What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like, and I would like to first, like just to down memory lane,
Mm-hmm.
you know, um, what is one aspect of your life that broke you, and at what point did you realize, oh, I'm actually,
Already just moved on from like it.
like you actually healed. Like it's a moment in your life that broke you, and then of course there was the process of healing, of course, which kind of took a bit over time, even if it's 2 months or 1 month or even weeks. Like it's just like that moment that took you in a place of starting to heal yourself, and then you got to a place. And at what point did you realize that I'm actually I'm actually
Those are
healed?
like two segments to those are two questions. Like what at some point got to hurt me and how I got to move on from it, or how did I know I was healed
So the
from
question
that?
is two. So what moment broke you, and at what point did you realize, oh, I'm actually healed from this thing?
I think for everyone, something in us always gets to shift or just move within us. And
Mm.
and I'll say it's not what actually broke me, it's the aftermath that comes with something that broke you.
Yeah.
It's having to realize, oh, so what I thought was actually isn't, or what I thought someone was representing to me is totally different from what that is what actually have broken me more times or has hurt me more times other than the actual deed itself. Because again, we do understand that people, for us, we cannot
That's
lack to
good.
undergo from
That's really good.
changes, right? So I
Yeah.
think there are also the expectations that comes with whatever that we have, especially even from other people, is what leads us to those dark moments.
Yeah.
And what has helped me to keep going, because healing is a process. It's
Oh,
not
yeah.
something that you just wake up and say, "Oh, I'm done. I'm healed." So I feel like, well, first of all, life doesn't just stop because you're hurt. Let's agree to that.
It's true. I agree
Even in
100%.
just because someone you loved passed away, it doesn't mean that life will just come to a halt and say,
And
"Oh,
yeah,
let's stop and wait for
yeah,
you to get
exactly.
better."
Yeah.
Because by the end of it all, you'll still have to wake up, whether you're feeling good, whether you're not feeling good. You'll still
It's
have
life,
to wake up.
man.
Yeah, you still have to wake up because you have people around you, you have responsibilities
Yeah,
as well,
yeah.
and sometimes, now having to keep going, it's not about being strong enough.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just surviving through
Right.
it, and it's still okay to do so. So I feel like it's just having to be there. Not if something has hurt me before, I will wake up and realize, oh, there are changes that has happened. Something that was triggering me during then is not triggering me right now, or something that used to make me feel a bit of anxiety.
Can you give examples?
Why do you want me kujianika hapa mbele ya watu lakini?
Well, it doesn't have to be deep though.
I had not. This is not nice. This is
I'm not doing
nice.
anything wrong.
This is not really nice.
Just one thing, like used to kind of, like the way you've said it, it's like something that used to trigger you, and now looking, it doesn't trigger you anymore.
Let me talk. I won't go deep. Let me talk because again, I have to protect myself. There was I'll just say whatever that is on the surface. There was when you're growing up. In the previous episodes, I've said we have moved a lot.
Yeah.
And it used to be very hard having to make friends and all that. But I think at around 11 years, 12 years, I had a small community of myself. There's a bit of friendship that, growing now, having to come to my age, I'm like, even if we were to meet today, don't think that this thing will be as what I had regarded during then.
Yeah.
But there was two friends I had back in primary school, right? I won't say their name right here because again I have to, protect them in their image. So we were very close, extremely close to a point that I felt like, no, these are like my actual sisters coming into this. Yeah, we used to do a lot of sleepovers at their home, at my home. We'll come, we'll hang out, we'll do studies together, blah, blah, blah. Whenever they wanted to go somewhere, we would always find us as the three of us. And then again, I think an year down the line, I had to move. Then high school happened.
Yeah.
And then now having to look back, I was like, they were supposed to be my friends, right? Like we were supposed to grow into this and not just get ripped off like that. And now having to go into, by the way, I held on to that, thinking that at some point we might get to find each other. And it also got me having it hard to make friends somewhere else. I was like, what if I bring in this? Because I didn't again understand that you don't need one friend in life, right? Yeah. So I thought at some point we might meet and this person, blah, 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 it will happen, blah, blah, blah. But then again, with time as it went, I realized slowly I had stopped thinking about them as much because there was also other people who were coming into my life. I had stopped wishing that I had seen them becoming into, their young adulthood as young women and everything. Yeah. We don't talk as much. Right now, I wish to know what happens or what happened to their life and blah, 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 in as much as I know a bit. But I know it will not be the same. So I had to accept the fact that at that point, I was stripped of that. I was robbed of that part of me. But yeah, I've accepted it and life goes on.
Pardon.
Thank you.
That's really good. I actually never thought about healing the way you've said it. Because there's something that you said that caught me. Mm-hmm. You said that for you it's not even about the deed, it's the aftermath. And I think actually I think that's why it hurts so much. Mm-hmm. It's not even about the deed.
It's not the deed.
It's you had this version of this person, mm-hmm. and then they do something. It's not even what they did. It's you had this. It's like you are so convinced, like, this is the person, right? And when they prove you otherwise, you feel, oh my God, how did I not see that?
Yeah.
I think that's actually, I love that. I do love that, because looking back, when I look at the moments that have actually broken me, it's not even about the deed. It's actually the aftermath.
Yes, of how you're feeling and having to deal with those all emotions. Sweet.
I love that. I love that, because all this time I've been thinking somebody did this, and I usually based it in the perspective of, like, you've betrayed me, you've talked about me behind my back,
Yeah.
and now that's the part that actually broke me. So I had, like, friendship again. Like, I let people in so easily. Okay, I used to, let me not say it right now, used to let people in so easily, and I would trust them again really easily. And so there was this friendship, and I kind of really, not I kind of, I trusted them a lot. And so it got to a point that we kind of fell apart. And it's not even because we fought or we argued. It's because this girl had the audacity to go behind my back and have, what are they called, coffee dates with other people that knew me, and talk behind my back. And the person that they are there with,
I know this person.
I know,
right?
yeah, the person they were there with, she did not even realize that that person was recording to send me what she was saying about me.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I can't even trust the both of them, because you're listening. So why are you trying to make her look bad by sending me a voice note to look good? And I have this idea of this person. Oh God. Looking back, it's actually not the fact that she was talking about me behind my back, the fact that I trusted her. It's actually how she made me feel.
Yeah.
Like
that.
God, I had to. Do you know how it feels to actually go from talking to you to not talking to you?
Anyway, someone
Like, it's,
called a space specifically for them.
Like, it's such an emotional turmoil. Like, it's hard work. Like, why are you putting me through all of that? And it's actually about how they made me feel. It's not even about her going and talking behind my back.
Because it goes hand in hand. Like, for instance, if someone breaks up with you and you're not ready, that person has had time to process that they actually don't want to be with you anymore.
Yeah.
But me, who is coming to be told that I want to break up with you at this moment, it's not about you having to break up with me. It's the feeling that comes with that.
God.
I'm not willing to let go of this piece of me, because you are a piece of me. I'm not willing to let go of this.
I know.
Now with that story that you've given us, do you think you are healing, or were you just surviving through it?
I think in one of the episodes I mentioned that I'm really I'm not that good when it comes to letting go. So let me say this is me. Let me just say this is me. If I get hurt, if I am in a place that I actually feel broken and all of that, before, my very first tendencies were to smile, were like that.
Like, so you were surviving through.
Yeah, like I was like that. I can do this. I can, like, I can do
You decided
this.
you won't show the person who had to that you have
Yeah.
actually succeeded in
Yeah,
hurting
I'm
you.
not gonna show
You'll
that.
never smile and they'll be like,
Yeah.
I got,
Yeah. I will smile through it completely. And then now, ikiamua kukuja, inakuja na full force.
Innocent
So,
baby girl, you
yeah.
are ignoring us,
Oh
but we are still
my
here.
God. It comes like a wave. And now it gets to a point now I couldn't even avoid it. Now I have to actually sit with it, acknowledge how I'm actually feeling.
Yeah,
and most of the
that
time,
moment.
it actually takes me being in my own personal space, sitting with myself and talking to myself,
That's
Rita,
good.
this thing hurt you.
Yeah.
And like I just view, like, if you find myself in my personal space, I'll be like, I'm now imagining the way we're having a conversation. So there's another Rita on the other side, maybe the future Rita or something, I don't know. And then now there's the Rita over here, and we're both having a conversation. Okay, how are you feeling? Now I'm like, I'm feeling this and this and this and this. Okay, and how do we call that thing you're feeling? And now I actually do a lot of soul searching, and then whatever is going on. And now from there, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna sit with this. I'm not gonna
You're
pretend.
gonna deal with
Yeah,
it.
I'm
It's
not.
already here anyway.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pretend. And now you see the moment where I'm not smiling through it. The person that had me, I'll be saying hi. They will not even realize that I'm even mad at. Like, they will not.
You even say hi to
I'll be
these
saying
people.
hi to them. I'll be, oh my God, oh Rita. But now when I am now like, okay, there's a quote that I saw, and it said you cannot heal in the same environment that hurt you.
Yeah.
And when I saw that quote, I was like, why do I don't need to be, see, I'm healing. I gotta stay away from you. At least in this, in my healing journey, at least let me stay away from you a little bit. Now, here's the catch. Once I'm done healing, and I get, because now that's another conversation that we'll get into, like how do you get to a point that you actually realize that you're healed. But when I get to that place, of course I will understand. I will definitely understand how, I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I will know. I will know, and I'll actually be like, oh yeah, I'm actually proud of you. So the catch is, the person that hurt me, after I've sat through it and I'm done surviving through it, I will now like release you from my heart. And the me releasing you from my heart does not mean I'll now bring you close again. But
Wait, when you were hurt, you were still, you said you smiled through it, you talk to these people. Now, at this point, you're healed. Do you continue talking to these people at the normal rate at which you were hurt? Or do you just place a distance
I place a distance, but I will talk to them. I will place a distance. I'm not, it's crazy, but if I, looking back, the people that have hurt me, I actually do have conversations with them. But not as much as before.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, looking back, hey, I think what I have done, even to this point, I do a lot of surviving before I go into healing.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like you've said. If, for instance, you hurt me today, I have realized that I go numb very easily. At that point, I don't feel anything. Like it's like a defense mechanism that just comes up.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, I know I've been hurt. Immediately, I'm so numb. I want to feel it. I want to go through it. I want to rush this so that it can move away and we can move on. But then again, I do become very numb. At that point, I'm not in a position to have a proper emotional and mature conversation with you, because I will say things for the sake of saying stuff.
Yeah.
I've not internalized whatever that is going on during that moment. So I become numb for a while. And during that moment, I also don't want to see you as a person. I want to keep my distance. I want you to be over there. Let me be over here. Let me be by myself. Then, like I was saying, then it comes back. And when it does, it hits like 100 times. Yes, it hits so hard. It hits so home. And during that time, the moment I was surviving, I will keep myself busy during that time because I don't want to think about it. It's until now you're home alone with your thoughts that it tells you. I know you were surviving throughout the day, you didn't feel it. But we, as the emotions of being hurt, now we are here. Now you have to deal with us. Because again, healing is very intentional. You have to be very intentional about it. Because again, having to survive is just having to endure through it. And I feel like now, after I've survived it, not having now to deal with the healing is what comes after, and it doesn't come easy. Now, during this time, I will sit down and I'll be like, oh, I was hurt. This is how I feel. That is when I will sit with myself and ask myself, why did this thing hurt me so much? Why did this thing, affect me so deeply? Yeah, have the conversation with yourself, like you've said. But all I know, I survive first so that I can go to healing. That is the only thing that makes sense to me because I become numb. And I don't know how to control the fact that I become numb when I'm, disappointed or, hurt during that process. Now, what is the difference between having to heal and having to move on? The difference between healing and moving on. It can be relationship wise, business wise, whatever wise.
Oh, okay. Okay, let me say this. The fact that you're here does not mean that you should actually move on.
Okay. What do you mean?
I mean, the fact that, let me base this in an actual, in a way that we all understand, right? Relationship wise.
Okay.
Right. So you're dating somebody, you guys have something, and then you end up breaking up, right? After breaking up, that means I will immediately get into the healing process. Even if not automatically, but at some point, you will have to actually be intentional with this thing hurt me. And I need to actually go through this and be healed, right? So after I am healed, it does not mean that I have to move on. Because moving on in this category means getting into another relationship.
Okay.
Because that's what moving on, right? Because there's healing. Yes. And there's moving on. Moving on is like, okay, let's now try this one more time. So just because I'm healed does not mean I should actually move on.
Okay.
And that's the thing that I feel like and I had to actually learn this, and I'm actually speaking this from my own experience, because I used to be the person, if I'm healed, I'm like, okay, yeah, let's move on to the next. Thank you, next. Like I used to be like that until I had to realize, yes, I'm healed, but that does not mean I have to move on. I can actually be myself, because moving on, let me say this. Moving on means there's something you're moving away from.
Yeah, that's true.
Right? True. Yeah. So just because I'm moving away from something does not mean that I have to actually move on to something else that looks like the same thing that I've moved away from. If I've moved away from a relationship that was toxic, it does not mean just because I'm healed, I have to get into another relationship.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, you have other experiences that, like, yes, this was toxic, so I need to get into a relationship that is not toxic. Well, you have that understanding, yes. But then again, if you get into this relationship you will still find another demon in that person. And then you realize you're not comfortable with that demon, and then you eventually get hurt, and then now you have to go back to the same process of healing again. So you're healing from, you're moving away from a toxic, you're moving away from the demon of somebody cheating, you're moving away from somebody who mistreats you. So just because you're healed does not mean that you have to move on. Yeah.
Well, I'll define that in simple terms, what I understand by what is the difference between having to heal and having to move on.
Yeah.
I've seen people, there's a tendency of where the people whereby, if for instance, this is the only simple example I can give, when someone moves from one relationship, just like you say, they don't even stay for a week before having to go and find someone else.
Right.
They find that they broke up with someone 2 days ago, they already have a partner today. Sure. So having to move on is physical. It's something that you can see, I can see, they can see. It's having to, distance yourself from something, having to block whatever that it can be hurting you or not, whatever that can block you, keeping the distance, and having to start something new. It can be business, it can be a relationship wise also. That is moving on. It's physical, it's something that you can see.
Yeah.
When it comes to healing, we have said healing is intentional, and healing is about the inward part of you.
Oh, yeah.
Because just like I've said, moving on is physical.
Yeah.
Then it means that healing is, just having to heal out the layers that are not worthy to be there.
Oh,
yeah, and so that you can be fresh again.
Yeah.
Because something that is, if something it keeps cutting you, then you have to remove whatever is cutting you so that you can give yourself the time to heal.
Yeah.
So it's having to get to sit with it, be intentional about it.
Yeah.
I think that is the only difference, and people don't like have to do the inner work because it's more difficult rather than that's when someone will say, so your boyfriend will come and tell you, I don't like your small boobies, and then you will just rush to enlarge them just because someone else said that I don't like what you have, I'd rather you have something else. And then you realize you running to do that procedure because probably I'm not saying everyone who has done that they don't love themselves, but you don't realize that you yourself are not doing the inner work of accepting whom you are and knowing that that person may not like the way I am, but this person or someone else out there will like to do it. So a lot of people avoid the inner part, having to work in yourself because they want to be validated by people by moving on.
Yeah.
Because moving on is someone will tell you, oh, you move on very fast. People will validate that. But the inner work, people will not see it. It's you who will sit and say, oh, I've really come from that place to this place.
And it's beautiful to actually look back and see yourself. Oh, I used to. You know how much I'm proud of myself. Like every time I see this thing used to break me,
But
and there are mannerisms that I used to do before that I don't even do right now. I'm like, girl, I'm trying. It's just, it's nice.
Initially it was a Mariam right now it's tarmac and you can see the smoothness of it.
And you just have to, you're just proud of yourself, to be really honest. Like nobody can take credit for that. It's me and me alone. Like you've not seen the tears I've had to cry at night because I'm feeling like my heart is about to come out.
You can't breathe.
You can't even see the times that I've called my best friend here. You've not seen the moments that I'm actually feeling like I actually need to just go and take liquor, something that I don't even do. But I feel like it's in that moment that I actually need liquor so that I can actually be able to, like when you combine all of those things and then you actually, oh my God.
Yeah. You have healed from something before, right?
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm actually proud. It's not even something, a lot.
So I'll ask you, how do you know you're healed? Or when do you actually say, I am healed?
This will sound funny, but when I know I'm healed when I'm able to talk about it. And two, when I'm able to talk about it and laugh about it. That's it. That's my basis. For real, like I don't have
very simple.
Yeah, because it's true. Like I don't have like no, there's no epiphany. No, I don't have epiphany moments that oh my God, Angel Maria and whatever. Where did Angel Maria come? Do we have Angel Maria?
That brings in the
Oh
Catholics. The Catholics
my God! No,
just
but there's no Angel Maria.
There's a song about it. I get you.
Oh my
I get you.
Like okay, like there's no moment where an angel comes and be like, okay, now girl. No, like when I'm comfortable talking about it and actually laugh about it, girl, you're good. You're good. When I realize I'm not comfortable talking about it, yeah, I still have some work to do. So it's my answer is as simple as that. That's how I know I've actually healed. Yeah.
I feel like healing doesn't have unaona venye like kwa race people run and there's a finish line whereby ukifika pale someone tells you you have won the race. I feel like healing, it doesn't have that kind of a stoppage.
Yeah.
You just have to go through it at some point and you're like, I can actually see, like I said before, I can actually get to see the changes that have happened. That this is something that does not give me anxiety anymore. That I'm sitting here and the person who hurt me so much, hata ukisema jina yake at this point, the name does not even trigger me, the name does not move me. And sometimes these things, at some point, these things might trigger you because you're normal. Sometimes these small things might come up and you might get moved. And some point, utajiuliza, I thought I had done a lot of work into healing, but why is this thing again coming back? Am I really healed or not? And sometimes, there's those moments. And sometimes, both of them, I think they can exist. You can have done a lot of work into healing, but then again, at some point, they can also get to trigger you. But it's because you're a human by the end of it, and it's something you have grown through it. So I feel like healing is subtle, whereby it is in your it is in your reaction, it is in your peace. Because again, sanity is everything. The moment you have peace,
that's how you know.
That's how you know that if this thing again you mention it and it's like we laugh through it. We can just talk about it. Or I feel like, well, it happened.
Or we can be actually in the same room and you will feel
and you feel like,
there are no mismatched energies or
exactly
like people can tell
there's something going on here. The energy.
The energy is still there. Like hakuna ish, there's no gap in like mtu ananukia energy. Energy mbaya. But like healing is so messy. There's no finish line, to be really honest. It's something that you will wake up and then you find yourself back into
it sometimes. And the moment you heal, you also realize that you don't have to prove your worth as well. You don't have to keep explaining yourself over something. In a place you're like, oh, is that what they're saying? It's okay.
Oh, that's actually good. When you find yourself like you don't
even give it an F anymore.
Oh, I love that.
You just you just let them, or just let it slide. That's when you know, like, this thing, it's not as kidogo kitambo mkono I'm already crying
and
there.
And then
you get depressed over something. The moment it just passes, it passes.
Wow. We'd love to know. How do you know you have healed? We'd love to know.
So, what does someone look like that they say that they're healed, but they're not?
How does someone look?
What are the signs?
What are the signs?
when someone says I'm healed, lakini vizuri deep down unaona tu huja heal. You're just saying it to convince us or to convince yourself that you're not healed.
Can we really know?
Yeah, and you have actually made the point.
No, I
Whereby
mean
you're
from
saying,
somebody else. Apart from myself, for myself, I can know.
yeah, even from no, if for instance you know me, right?
Yeah.
If right now nikuje nikwambia ABCD has happened,
Yeah.
and then you're like, can you have this conversation? And then I avoid it just for the sake of keeping boundaries.
Yeah.
Or you realize there's also the way you can know. First of all, it's avoiding the conversation. Secondly, you can be avoiding the people to talk about people just because you want to maintain your peace. Thirdly, it's when it's something the similar thing that is brought up gets to trigger you, and you are saying, I've already moved on from ABCD. Because I can say that is someone, because again, if you feel like everything around, and especially again, if everything else around you seems like a threat, it means that something in you still has not yet been processed, or you have not healed from it.
Okay, I was viewing this in two ways.
Mm-hmm.
Two ways in the perspective.
Mm-hmm.
I know someone,
Mm-hmm.
and the perspective of I don't know someone.
Mm-hmm.
So if I don't know someone, I may not know. Like
Yes,
if they're
this one can only go to
the people that
you know.
the people that we know. For you, I can actually tell. Even for me, like you can tell. Like I'm trying to avoid this.
Yeah,
you
don't want to talk about it.
Or even I
you
will,
don't want the nail to
but sometimes I can actually talk about it. But when you have been around somebody, you will notice their intonations. Like for me, I'm very keen. Oh my god, I hate how keen I am, because you can actually be talking about something that you're saying that you've actually healed, but I will realize the intonation of your voice. I will tell by your eyes.
Is this person talking?
I will tell by your facial expressions. The people can actually be really calm when talking about it, but I'm really good with this. Like, I'm not to brag, but I am really good with this.
Like, I don't know how to fake emotions. It's like you or not.
Yeah.
It's whether I will happy about it or not.
Yeah, I will read the facial expressions. Even if you try to lie about it, girl, I will know in your voice. Because sometimes you will have a shaky voice.
Yeah.
Especially when I hear those shaky voices, I'm like, oh yeah, stop it now.
It's already, you're still in the process of it. Just don't rush it.
That for me, I usually look at the facial expressions. If I know somebody and I'm actually like, I've related with somebody for a long time, that I'm actually able to actually tell, are they okay? Are you okay? Are you lying? Are you happy? Are you sad? Are you bothered? Are you, all of that. So that's how I can tell. I will also tell in, the way you've actually mentioned, keeping boundaries.
To keep boundaries.
No, keeping boundaries nikakumbuka kitu. Keeping boundaries. What was the other thing? At least I do.
We need to see heaven.
Umerada, what I was talking about. What was the other thing?
Having to avoid to talk about the conversation, or avoiding the people.
Yeah, those for me, I will know, like you're trying to. And let me actually add that, like just one. Would you tell the person to stop doing that and actually face the fact that they need to actually address the elephant in the room?
No, that is up to them. You can never rush someone into healing.
Okay, of course not rushing, but just telling them, hey,
I think you're still not.
Yeah.
Yes, you can tell someone.
That laughter is so, oh my Lord.
I think we really do try so much to convince ourselves that we have moved from one situation to another. I'm sitting with, if I'm close to you, like we are, I would easily tell you, I know you're trying to say you're healed, but bado naona kidogo,
kuna tashwishi.
But if you're not close to someone I don't think it's in my place to tell them, because I also don't want to. Sasmine, you just let emotions sit with the person as they are. Sometimes in the man it can feel like rushing someone once you just mention it, like I unajifanya umehil. No. It will first of all it will make someone feel so bad.
Yeah.
I do understand that part. But if you're close, I'll tell you, please stop doing it. Just have a seat with yourself.
Yeah, and address it.
And address it.
Yes, I love that. A lot of people actually see that.
Because because again, when it comes to healing, healing is not supposed to make you as a person cold. It's supposed to make you clear. Like, this thing made me go through that. It's hard. We cannot do it in the past for long. We cannot just say the scar that I have, this scar, I have to make sure everyone else have the same scar to feel the way I felt. So it's not supposed to make you cold. It's supposed to make you clear.
Okay.
Yeah. Why is it easy? Now, this is because of the question you have told me about, if you have to tell someone whether they are healed or not, calling them out. Why do you think it's so easy to perform healing other than actual healing? Why do you have to pretend that you're healed? Why is it so easy?
Wow. I think it's I will answer in the way that there's something that you mentioned. You said that healing is inner.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot of peeling.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So if I am hurt right now, right? Let's say you have broken this finger.
Yeah.
Right? For it to be how it was, I have to kind of knuckle it back. And it's gonna be painful.
Yeah, it's painful.
Right? Sometimes you might be feeling something, especially for the ladies who have like peeling off the skin. I see a lot in the videos. For the do you actually? There are girls who actually have like they have skin peeling, like inaitangwa nini?
Is that factual?
Yeah, it is. They actually do shedding of the skin. Yes, there are women who do that.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that a lot on TikTok. Like ladies just like, especially when it's that time of the month. So for them, they actually don't have pimples, but it's like they shed off another skin. Like, unalavanga mask ama super glue. Vile super glue kwa tunaweka hapa. Alafu tunapeel hivi kwa primary.
The only thing I know about peeling is the sunburns.
Oh no.
I didn't know it, like,
yeah, like, and
when you see them, that ladies were making fun of men who are asking that, do you actually?
No, it actually happens.
Oh, all right.
And well, it has never happened to me, but when I see the videos when they're peeling off the skin, when they're shedding off, it's actually really painful. But you can actually see them some even crying, and maybe some are even getting ready and then they've applied their makeup and then now they see, oh my God, I've started to shed. And when they're peeling off.
Are you sure that is a thing?
Yeah.
Because I feel like,
no, it is a thing.
Isn't these people who are just playing mind games when I apply the mask and then I don't know. And then you got to apply your makeup. I thought some people. I saw a video whereby someone had put on a mask that is ukiweka like in a
no, actually I think it happens because it actually happens. It's not mind games.
I'll come next time with an answer for this.
Yeah, please be real. But I think it happens. But well, from what I've seen, like it's very painful.
Yeah,
and that's basically healing. The way you said, it's peeling the parts. It's kind of on a refresher. You have to go back to the old settings, right? There's a virus and you have to actually remove that virus. And sometimes it's not always the healthiest, I would say. So I would rather stay with that rather than me peeling off. I think that's why it's so easy to pretend, and because it's a lot of work.
Yeah.
I think the reason is why somebody is trying to pretend, and I will say this, if I am in a place where I'm pretending to to be healed, it's because I understand the if you don't have understanding of what healing looks like, then
You
you
will confuse
yeah, you will confuse that. But if I understand what it requires of me to actually heal, then I'll be like, hey, what a tunica, he will be the liquor. You know, it's the way you actually see the process. And then when I imagine, hey, let me tell you process, what a liquor. You know, but for somebody who does not have an understanding of what healing looks like, if you're getting into healing the very first time, talk to sour. But then when you're getting into the second one, and then hey, it's the way like you get into a relationship and then it hurts, and then when you're getting into another, you're like, hey, please,
let's put a pause right
you
there.
know. So I feel like if this one I would base it in the, I will kind of limit it to, if you have an understanding of what the healing process looks like, then I would rather remain with, I'd rather stay not healed.
But you do also realize that we, at this point, you don't want the healing process have the actual healing process is well.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that you will still avoid it if something.
I will just because you have it will take time before I get into that.
The point is, you'll still have to, undergo the process. I feel like it's easy to perform because it's comfortable.
Okay.
It's easy
to pretend. Yeah.
Yes, it's easy to pretend.
Yeah.
People are easy to, like I say, people are willing to validate you because that is how you want it to feel. It's just having to avoid, the accountability that comes with the healing. Because for you to undergo, and you have to understand, sit with it, and say, I have to take accountability for my own healing. Because again, we have been told someone who has broken you is not supposed to be the same person who's trying to heal you.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So I feel for performing is just, it's easy. It's easy to do so. It's easy to just jump around and show people, I'm good, so that they can just say, hata hakuumia, ako tu sawa, because having to undergo the healing, it's the uprooting of those roots that are so rotten inside. And it's tough. Kusema, this is a habit, and I don't want to go to something that feels familiar because I don't want to go to something that I'm not aware of. Whereby people wanasemanga, I'd rather have the devil that I know than the angel that I don't know, because this one feels more familiar. It's more comfortable. It's something that you already know how you can deal with it, how you already know you can fix it or just go through with it, rather than having to go to someone else and have to start over, have to explain yourself again. So I feel like, it's only easy because, it's a silver platter for you.
I think I just realized how healing is so much contradicting. It's called healing, but it's still hurting.
Yeah, healing, like, it has to hurt.
Like it's so contradicting. I'm just realizing right now that it's healing, but man, why am I hurting?
Yeah, you already have the hurt, then you have to undergo through that hurt during the healing process.
I know.
It's only that you can appreciate also the growth that comes with being hurt and having to undergo the healing.
Truth is, you can't actually escape.
No one escapes this.
No one escapes this. No one.
No, life has to teach you the hard way.
Yeah, no one escapes it.
Yeah.
There's our father says that you can be Nairobi and go to the UK and you'll still find the same class there.
The same
class.
Oh, okay.
So if I have escaped healing, just because I was in Nairobi when the thing happened,
you carry your heart to that UK.
Yeah, you still carry your heart to that UK. The funny thing is, that thing will still show up there. So it does not mean that, when I get into this relationship, when I get into this other job, when I find other friends, when I relocate, actually you will feel better. You'll feel better for a few times, but eventually you're gonna feel it. You will feel it even more. So I think the only advice that I would tell somebody is just get into it, man.
Deal with it. There
Deal
is
with
no
it.
way of escaping when
Yeah.
you're hurt.
Yeah.
Because everyone else, even in life, at some point, if you've not been hurt, something will always hurt you.
Yeah.
Because again, how are you supposed to jump into growth or say, I've grown from
Exactly.
what I thought was good for me, and
Yeah.
now I can see something that was already better into my alignment
Yeah.
as you do. But you have to accept as well that healing is not linear as you move on.
Exactly.
Healing is also different for everyone. If you are healing, it means having to sit with yourself, well and good. If healing for you is about talking to a therapist, well and good. Because again, you also have to talk about it, whether you want it or not. You know? Yeah.
So I think that would be my advice. Like, just get into it, man. There's no need for you to keep on prolonging the process, And maybe that's another conversation that we're gonna have another day, because I feel like when we try to elongate processes, the more we can't reach to what God has in store for us, or what the future actually has in store for us, or what your destiny has in store for you.
Yeah.
So if you continue to prolong that process, the farther the destiny will be. But when you get into it, it just comes closer. Which is another conversation, of course, that we are going to be having.
Yes, this is not the only part that we're doing about healing.
Oh yeah.
There are four because healing is a broad topic. So we'll do that in like 4 segments. Talking about today, we were needful to understand what healing was. Just to create the foundation, of it.
Yeah. So let us know what healing means to you, and at what point do you know that you have actually healed?
How do you go through your pain?
You have something to tell them, because now I have
You want me to do the closing remarks?
Oh, this is healing segment.
Yeah. Well, I will leave you with healing is when whatever that hurt you has stopped having control over the life that you're living right now. So if you have not healed at this point, allow yourself to go through it. Continue subscribing, continue supporting. We appreciate how you guys continue showing up in every other episode that we get to.
And I'm a fan when it comes to celebrating small wins. We just got to 100 followers on TikTok.
I haven't even checked.
Oh my God,
Really?
yes.
That was fast.
I know, like, it's not somebody, it's small,
but it's the small steps.
Yeah, it's something, it's really something. I can't believe it. And thank you guys for all the love. Continue subscribing, continue sharing our episodes, continue commenting, and always continue coming back again and again.
You're very much. This is a free space.
You
can always come back anytime that you would like.
And of course, every Monday we have an episode. Is it Monday?
Saturday.
Oh yeah.
Girl,
Lord. Every Saturday from 4 p.m. we do have the episodes dropping.
At 4 p.m.
At 4 p.m. Saturday 4.
So that was it for us today about the healing. Should I mention the other segments that we might discuss about the healing? Do you want to say something? What are your closing remarks in healing?
Please don't pretend to be healed. It's not gonna do you good.
It's not gonna be nice to you. I'm looking for it. No, we have done the part by what does the healing actually mean. So in the next segment, whereby we shall talk about distractions in place of healing. Today we'll just define what is healing. The understanding and the foundation of it. So in the next, maybe not the next one, just subscribe. Stay tuned. So that you can know. So we'll do distractions in place of healing. And also we can do, why does healing feel so hard? I think we have we touched on that today a bit?
Yeah, we have touched on
A
that a
bit,
bit. Yeah.
but we shall go deeper into why
Of
does
course.
healing feel so hard. And then just to finalize on the healing, we shall also do what healing, but this one we have done, what healing actually really looks like.
Okay. Well,
So that one will be like in terms of practice, in terms of emotions, the habits that support the healing, and a lot. So as you had said, it's a broad
yeah,
topic.
I think we can also add therapy
into
and
it.
how the role therapy
plays in
and that actually work. Because
Yeah.
I've never been into
I've never been into therapy.
Yeah, like
So, but I have people who have gone to therapy.
I'd love to
and
know.
I've had people who have told me stories about them being in therapy.
Yeah, well, we'll look into the role therapy plays when it comes to healing. My name is Rita.
And my name is Florence.
And it has been
Beyond the Scripts. Bye bye, guys.
Bye. Till next time.